Alright, look, here's the deal, guys. I know y'all been wanting an update. I hadn't made a video since probably before spring, or right after spring practice, like right at the very end was my last video with the RJ Moten news. I've been off for a while. It's just hard to keep up. I'm just a casual, fan like y'all. Well, I wouldn't say casual. I'm a pretty avid fan, pretty hardcore. But as far as making videos and investing and having a channel and being monetized and all that, that's not like why I do this. Um, that's not the goal or the desire. It's just to chop it up with you guys and talk Florida football in my free time. So I apologize. I know people love listening to stuff just like I enjoy others' videos out there on YouTube. But with all the, I've been coaching All Stars for my son. You know, Getting ready to do flag football. Daughter was playing soccer. I mean, I'm a dad and a husband, so yeah. But anyways, nobody wants to hear all that. But just real busy. So again, I'm gonna get back after it, start making some more material here and there. We get closer to the season, obviously, that's when we really got some good stuff to talk about. Right now, it's just real dead. Recruiting's been, as far as the football side of things, recruiting has just been on fire. I mean, I probably eaten some crow, eating some words, that I've said in the past for certain things, which really was accurate and spot on at the time. But things are always, you know, ebbing and flowing. Momentum can change. You can always right the ship, and right now Billy has righted the ship with recruiting. Recruiting is exactly where I've been preaching. It needs to be for Florida football to win a national title. Specifically, the 2024 class is top five. It's number 4 in the country. It did drop a spot, but number 4 in the country, which is phenomenal. I think we're only going to build on that. I feel very comfortable this class will finish top 5. I do think there's another 5-star, Jamonta Waller, coming to the class off the edge. Or he's already in the class. I'm sorry. What am I talking about? So another 5-star there on one side. Again, but there is a lot of hype on the Florida recruiting train out there. 8 commits in 1 week. I think that's the best recruiting week of football I've seen any school, much less Florida, do since I've been following football. The star power was there. There was a couple 3-stars, but again, just absolute monsters on the trail right now. I think that Austin Simmons flipped to Ole Miss. That one hurts a little bit, the quarterback position, because we need a body there. We need depth. But that lit a fire under Billy. The quarterback thing, y'all know how I feel about Mertz. You know how I feel about the quarterback room right now. I'm super hyped about recruiting going forward in the future of Florida football. My expectations are still very low for this season. But regardless, we're talking recruiting today. This class, again, won't get on campus till next year, so we can't expect an immediate impact besides maybe, 2 or 3 of these guys. So Florida, realistically, if they keep and sustain this type of recruiting for 24 and 25 with the last class that we brought in, I do think that 2025 is the year that we should expect Florida to compete for the SEC title and a national title. If that's going to be, even possible, but that's when that expectation can be set on the trajectory we're at now. I do think in 24 we do have to show a big leap forward, and some of those guys are going to have to start and play day one. In that 24 class, DJ Lagway is going to have to play as a true freshman as it is now, because I just don't see us the way we are in the portal. We're the opposite of Florida State. Florida State is the portal recruiting kings out there, and Florida is the high school. Now, let me tell you, the quality and the sustainability is much better through the high school ranks than it is the portal all day, every day. I will take what Billy's doing over Norvell or any of our rivals. We're kicking, Miami and FSU's face in right now, and they barely beat the least talented Florida team ever that Dan Mullen left last year. Just wait till these kids and all this talent gets on campus. We're going to put Florida State back in the cellar where they belong, beneath Florida. We're the flagship university. So really love what Billy's doing. Just and a shout out here real quick to baseball guys. I mean, what a smackdown, 24-4 last night, and it was a shocker with the way Hurston Waldrop came in and struggled, but our pen just lit them up. And I mean, we just hit bomb after bomb after bomb. Shout out to Ty Evans and Cags for setting the BBCOR home run record with 33. I mean, this team is electric, and I like Florida's chances tonight with Cags starting. If he can throw strikes, I think that Florida wins the Natty tonight in baseball, and I'm super pumped about that. I love O'Sullivan. You got the haters out there calling for him to get fired after last season, which was absolutely insanity. I mean, this guy is Florida baseball, and he can stay as long as he wants after this year. I mean, I don't care if they have a losing season next year. Sullivan leaves on his own terms when he's ready. He has earned it for Florida baseball. He is the king, the GOAT. This team is stout. I mean, there's major league draft picks top to bottom. Got 2 first-round pitchers on our staff on the staff. So just an electric baseball team. Just to make it here and go 1-1 in this series, even if we lose today, is a massive, massive accomplishment. And just hats off to the guys, man. It's hard to get there, and what they did after the regional was just even more impressive. But yeah, just a shout out to the baseball team. I know Gator fans. We love all our sports. We're the everything school. Championship in golf this year. We lit it up in gymnastics. I mean, we're just good at everything. So just love watching Florida sports in general. The only one that struggled, that was really disappointing, softball. But they'll get back after it next year. I think they'll reload and retool. Softball was definitely a big disappointment. They haven't been what the last couple of years have really struggled offensively, hitting the ball. Pitching has been limited as well. Just had like one dominant pitcher, just not a lot of good quality depth. So hopefully they bounce back there. But anyway, I'll get off the softball, baseball, and all that. So back to recruiting. Let's get into the guys in this class and start talking, chopping up on that. Mike Williams, offensive line. I want to get started with these guys because, we have the 2 offensive line coaches who have got some guys in the class, which is finally good to see. Hoping these guys are the floor of the offensive line recruiting class. You got an 8'4", 1'1", 3-star, not even ranked nationally, but has potential, a project-type player, Mike Williams, out of Maryland, 6'7", 310, offensive tackle. Again, a depth piece, a guy that can come in and develop. If this is the floor of the class, I'm perfectly fine with this. We really need some talent there at tackle. Definitely need some talent. Offensive line's a big-time projection position, so the star ratings for me on offensive line don't really matter, don't really say anything. Although when you got a 5-star tackle, he's a 5-star for a reason. So really would like to see Florida be able to land some talent like that, like we are at other positions on the offensive line. But having 2 coaches there doesn't worry me as much. You got Noel, I'm going to jack this name up, Portenjagen or something like that. I don't know. He's out of Germany. European football guy. Another project, but again, 6'5", 334. I think he plays tackle. If this kid was actually ranked, he does not have a ranking yet. Go figure. Florida never seems to be able to get guys ranked when they commit that are kind of low-key, diamond in the rough prospects. This guy's camped for 3 or 4 different schools. I believe South Carolina, Miami. Every school he's camped for has offered immediately. This dude is a legit 4-star, 90, 91. To me, talented type player, just based off potential. He moves well, very athletic. So really looking forward to this guy being on the team. I think he's a very good tackle prospect. Recruiting overseas is a newer thing that is really catching on. Out of Australia and for kickers, and in Europe for offensive linemen. So it's becoming a bigger thing. So look for this guy to be, possibly somebody who really surprises some people. Let's just get into it with quarterback. We got DJ, everybody knows, 5-star stud, lit it up at the Elite 11, one of the best out there every day, being talked about. I mean, this kid is the next. He's higher IQ than Anthony Richardson to me, but has the same physical gifts, much bigger and thicker, can take, more durable quarterback than Anthony, not as fragile, has the speed, can run, power run. I mean, he's like a Tim Tebow with more athleticism. So, or Cam Newton, something like that. Just an absolute stud. way ahead of his years. There's no doubt in my mind this kid comes in and starts day one as a true freshman. Xavier Fleming. I'm gonna jack some names up, guys. I'm sorry, but yeah, 5-star DB, safety guy for us, big time in the box type guy. Might play that nickel spot, but just an absolute stud. Another 5-star in the class. The fact that Florida's got 2 5-stars in a class finally, after years and years of whiffs and 0 5-stars in our classes. The last one we had was with McElwain and Martez Ivy. So seeing that at Florida is just a beautiful thing. I know you guys love it as much as I do, but it's about time Florida gets back up there. And I mean, our class is legit just a hair under what Georgia has and some of the teams at the very top. The only reason they're even the teams ahead of us, 1, 2, 3, is based on number of recruits. I mean, the only team that's legit more talented right now is Georgia's on the recruiting for 24. They all have more recruits than us and more commits. So once we add more players, if we keep the talent level up, the star average has dropped. It was a 9.4. It's down to a 9.2 something. I will say that 9.2 average, we need to keep it there. That's a must. That's a minimum. It cannot drop below that, or this class will lack the talent that we need for championships. I would really prefer it get back up into that 9.3, 9.4 range. 9.3 is absolutely acceptable. That's a massive, huge high average for recruiting. But yeah, I mean, our average is higher than almost everybody except for, like I said, I think Ohio State and Georgia is the only 2 teams with a higher average right now. And that's a good thing, because you really got to compare our class to like the LSUs, the Miamis, the Florida State, Tennessee, LSU. I mean, we are head and shoulders out recruiting those teams right now, and it's awesome. And that's what's going to get W's on the field. Now, Billy's going to have to evolve that offense a little more. But talent wins, man. I mean, you can have an average offense and put talent on it, and it will win ball games. When you get to the cream of the crop of the championship games, that's when you got to scheme it up. That's where I think Florida might struggle a little bit, but we'll see when we get there. So Darius Hayes at linebacker, borderline 5-star guy, top 50. I mean, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 6, 7 top 100 guys in this class. Absolutely insane. That's what we're looking for. This is a tier 1 class, in my opinion. But just elite linebacker skills, sideline to sideline, really long and athletic, can cover. You got Miles Graham, linebacker, 6'1", 212, another 4-star, borderline 5-star, 9'7", 205, 53 in the country. Edge, Jamonta Walker, another big-time top 100 guy off the edge, 6'2", 225, 71 in the country, 9'6", 220. So, and then Aaron Chilly's another linebacker. I mean, this is the best linebacker class I've seen since Brandon Spikes. I mean, this linebacker class is just loaded with talent. These guys are all going to be, possibly contributing early on in their careers, either true or redshirt freshmen. But yeah, our class right now, you got Georgia at 1, 21 commits, 9.3 average. You got 2 Ohio State, 16 commits with a 9.331 average. And they've got 2 5-stars, and Georgia's got 3, and we have 2. You got Michigan at number 3 with 23 commits, no 5-stars, a 90 average. And then Florida at number 4 with only 16 commits. Like I said, this class has plenty of upward mobility. It could just as very well go down a couple spots. But again, I think on signing day, we wrap this thing up in a 5-star class. But back to the players, Aaron Chilly's at linebacker, like I said, just an absolute beast of a class at linebacker. Another top 100 player here. And top 100 players have a much higher success rate to start or be starters in college and contribute. Once you get in the top 100, those guys are usually, probably 50% of the time they're day one starters. And you get inside the top 50, those guys make it to the NFL. Those are your NFL type caliber players. But he's number 80 overall, 9'5", 9'4", 6'3", 220. Just another thumper at linebacker. Amir Jackson, 108 in the country, 9'4", 7'7", 4-star, 6'4", 223. This guy's going to play tight end for us out of Georgia. We're picking some players that right out of Georgia's backyard that Georgia wants, and they're getting our leftovers, and I'm loving every bit of it. So it's good to see Florida win some head-to-head battles there.
This kid's very athletic. We need another tight end in this class. Definitely lacking a tight end on the depth chart at Florida on the roster now. So that was a must get, and we need to add a second tight end to the class. Marius Williams, another 4-star, 186 in the country defensive line. This is a monster defensive line class that's going to, have Florida set up very well. We're definitely leaning more heavier on the defensive side. I think this is going to be a monster defense for years to come now. I even think our defense is going to jump 50 spots. Um, or more. It's got to jump way more than that next year. But I think this defense next year will be a top 50 defense, in my opinion. I really do. And again, that's not elite, but I think it's a massive improvement from being dead last in the country. So, but yeah, Marius Williams, another stud on defensive line. Probably going to play that defensive tackle, nose tackle type spot, 6'3", 270. Kind of like maybe like a Dunlap, in that type of role. He could really grow into that frame. Nasir Johnson, you got 6'4" and a half, 300 pounds. Another guy that can play, that nose tackle type spot. Big body guy. 4-star, 249 in the country, so top 250 player. 30th at his position. And Marius Williams is 23rd best defensive lineman. Both of the Marius Williams out of North Carolina, Johnson out of Georgia. See who else we got here. Okay, Isaiah Williams, 4-star, 6 foot, 172 pounds, quick twitch, speed guy. We need more of these on the roster. We've had too many long, lanky giraffe type receivers. Love to see the speed. 94-star, 328 in the country, number 52 at his position out of Florida. Florida's really recruited outside the state this year. The state's really lacking a lot of talent, which is unusual at a lot of positions. So that's why I think you see Florida doing that. We're definitely a footprint school. Billy's shown that he recruit, inside out from the footprint. But again, this year's just been, kind of having to go outside the box for some better players. Florida's loaded at running back. I'm not worried about running back recruiting. Love the guy in the class, 8.995 4-star, 337 in the country, 29th best back out of Mississippi. Think he's a little underrated, 5'11", 190. Just a power back. Thinks kind of reminds me of Cam Carroll. I think this kid is going to be a nice, stud in college. I think he's going to be a very good, contributable back. So we'll see what happens with him. Josiah Davis at safety. This is kind of the floor at safety, but a good, depth piece for the roster. A couple years of development. 6'1", 185. Another player out of Georgia. I mean, we're just yanking people up out of Georgia. It's awesome. 516th in the country, 51 in his position. You got Marcus Mascal on the offensive line. This guy's got massive upside. Another guy out of Georgia, offensive tackle, 6'4", 6'4" and a half, 292, 3-star, 8.759, 669 nationally, 51 his position. Developmental guy, but again, a guy that's going to play earlier than a lot of people think. I think he's a little better than his ranking. Again, offensive line class is very average, very projection type, recruits. But the rest of the class is just loaded. DB, I mean, just every position besides offensive line. And offensive line, I'm not going to sweat it. You got Micah Baru, 8'6", 3-star defensive lineman, 6'5", 390, but he was very high up. He's just got to lose some weight. He's already lost some weight. I think he's down to 380, something like that, 375. If he can get down to that 350, 360 range, he's going to be a monster. Hopefully he can do what, some of the other guys have come to Florida and struggled to do, losing weight. So we'll just have to see what happens there. But again, it's been done before. These guys just have to stay focused. You can have all the nutrition staff in the world, but it's a you thing. It's you've got to focus on yourself and have discipline. It's a lot, easier said than done. But this guy, if he can transform his body, he was high up on Georgia's board. Georgia just landed a guy, another 3-star, actually a little higher rated, but at defensive line. But he was their backup, their plan B option to Micah. So we actually got a guy head-to-head, beat Georgia out for him. He visited. They didn't take his commitment. They waited too long, and Florida won out there. So another big boy battle that Florida won. Got Mike Williams, 6'7" out of Maryland, 310, 8'4". We already went over him. That's everybody, guys. Let's see, make sure I ain't missing nobody in the class here. Yeah, that's everybody in the class. So 16 commits right now. Like I said, super happy recruiting. where it's at, what Billy's done to turn it around. We still got to address quarterback. Looking at some guys in 25, we've got to figure something out there. New targets are going to start to emerge. I've heard some kind of names thrown around so far, but we'll see what happens. 24, I heard something the other day about a low 3-star quarterback, maybe a second quarterback in the class. I'd rather not do that. If anything, I'd rather just, find somebody in the portal, between now and next season. I don't think anybody's showing up on campus, which is sucks because I know, it's a long football season. We wait a long time to watch it. I really wanted to win this year, and I'm not talking about like playoff or nothing like that. I just don't want to see another 5-6 win season. So a little disappointed with what they did in the portal, but maybe a grad transfer could come in or something. But I think it's a little bit too late for that unless they come in next month because fall camp starts early August. So we're pretty much set with Mertz. If he gets hurt, the season you can kiss it goodbye. I think we got to have Mertz healthy all year in order just to have a fighting chance for 8 wins. But at this point, if he's hurt early on in the season, it could get as ugly as 4 wins, 5 wins. But I do think Florida is going to be very competitive in every game. Low scoring games. I think the defense is going to be locked down, shut down defense. So we'll just have to see what happens. We're in the mix for a ton of guys. Every visit they have to Florida, rave reviews. I'll have to do an update here again soon about who I think is going to pop next, and who are really targeting for y'all. Get y'all a list together for that. We'll talk about that. But just wanted to go over the class. Really solid what Billy's done. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope y'all have a good day. Thanks.